Hi, my name is Sam Dhaneshekaran and welcome to this video series of database tutorial. Okay, so in this tutorial video, we will talk about Oracle internal structure. And I'm going to give you a basic idea of Oracle internal structure, right? So in the previous videos, we talked about the physical structure of Oracle where the files these files stored in the OS. The physical structure means how the operating system sees Oracle. For the operating system, it's just these files, like now Oracle installation files, parameter file, control files, data files, temp files, online log files, archive log files, diagnostic files. But then the thing is, once the database has been installed and once you log in, what do you see? That's very important too, right? So once you log in, you are going to see these things. Okay, this is what we are going to explore in the next couple of videos. This is very important, and I'm going to start as much basic as possible so that this is very fundamental, so that you get a good idea of this. Okay, so uh, once you log into Oracle, right, you are going to work with the internal structure or the internal objects of Oracle. For example, to log in, you need to have an user account, right? It could be either a sysdba or a regular DBA account, or a regular application account or regular user account under your name. But then again, you need a user account. Okay, and then the next thing you want to know about is table spaces. In Oracle, everything gets stored in table spaces. Table spaces are kind of like the holder area where things get stored. I'll come to that in detail. Okay, and then so you log in as a user. You don't have anything right now, which is you don't have a table or you don't have an index or anything created under your username. So at this point, you are just an user, right? Now, you decide to create an object under you, like you create a table, right? Then you become a schema, right? You are also a user, but then since you own some objects, let's say if I log in as Sam and then I create a table called tab 1, okay, then the table can be identified like this, sam.tab1. But the important thing is tab 1, which is the table, is owned by me, my user. So up until before the up until before the point, since I created the table 1, I'm sorry, I'm blabbering. Okay, sorry about that. But then okay, so before creating any object, I was just a regular user, Sam, right? And then after creating an object, since I own an object, I created a table, I can also be called as a schema. Okay, so I'm going to give a very basic example of how tablespace and other stuff work. Okay, for that, let's go to an old example that I used. You all may be familiar. Let's assume this is a classroom. Okay, so we have a lot of students entering the class. Okay, student 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then let's just assume these all are tables, right? Like there is a big table, table 1 and table 2, table 3. Like when I say table, these are like when you enter into a classroom, you see tables, right? So these are the tables. Okay, so again, when I say tables, I'm talking about those physical real world tables, right? They look like this, right? Okay, real world tables where you keep your objects on it. Okay, let's not confuse this with the tables in Oracle. So right now I'm just talking about the real world. Okay, so you have tables. Okay, so table spaces in Oracle can be thought of the real tables in the real world. Okay, so we have tables spread. Okay, so now student one, let's call him Mickey. Now I'm going to use as much cartoon characters. So Mickey Mouse. Okay, so he comes. I hope I don't violate any copyright or anything. You know what? Let me just keep this clean. So I'm gonna call this student student one. Okay, student one comes and he. Okay, it's a boy, and he keeps his banana here. Okay, and he also brought one apple. He can keep his apple here, and he brought a pineapple. He kept his pineapple here. So this is student one, right? Let me call S1 and his banana. Okay, and this is student 1 and his apple. This is student 1 and his pineapple. Okay, can you see this? See, the user student 1 can keep his object anywhere he wants. Like he put it on this table, he put it on this table, he put it on this table. Now student 2 comes. Okay, she. Okay, and she comes, she puts, this is, let's say 5, table 5, right, in the real world. Okay, she puts this, what is this, peach? Okay, yeah, I think that's peach. Okay, so she puts her peach here, so it's yes to peach. She puts her apple. Interesting, she puts another, her apple here. We have an apple, we have an apple. Okay, she puts, and then student 3 comes, another, again a girl. She puts her banana here. Yes, 3 banana. So if you notice, these objects, right, are referenced using those who own. In the real world, if student 1 puts the apple, if someone wants to touch it, then the teacher would come and say, hey, that belongs to student 1. So if they want to refer that apple, student 1's apple. And where is another apple? This is, if they want to refer this one, student 2's apple, right? So like that, we have table spaces in Oracle. Okay, and the users, when they create objects, they can keep it anywhere. For that, they need to have privilege. I will come to that later. But then they can keep the objects anywhere, right? And then the interesting part here is, student 2 and student 4 are friends, right? So now student 2, where is student 2, has an apple here, and she says that if student 4 comes, she can eat my apple. So she gives the permission. So when student 4 comes, student 4 is a regular user because student 4 doesn't own any object, but still can come and eat this apple. Why? Because the owner, student 2, has given permission. So that's how it works. Think of this in the real world, and then I'm trying my best to equate this to the database world. Okay, so we have table spaces, right? On the table spaces, you can put your object. Okay, and I'll come to the point later where who can put what object in the table space, because there are some privileges. At this point, I'm just trying to keep this as simple. So users come, and if they own objects, they put it wherever they want, and they can give permissions to others. And the difference between the users and schema is those who own objects, they are also called schemas, and those who doesn't own an object, they are just regular users, and they would be given access by the owners or the DBA, right? The teacher can say, yeah, that's his apple, even though in the real world the teacher can morally, we cannot say that you can other person can take this without asking his permission. But then again, I'm just giving a data example. So the privilege can be given either by the owner or the DBA who maintains the system. Okay, so I'll talk about this again, but then this is the basic concept of how we store the internal objects and how others use. That's it. This is just the fundamental thing. Thanks and have a nice day. Bye.